People think VR is like a metaverse, whereas AR isn't. So different camps of thoughts to explain the definition of a metaverse. So what exactly is it? My interpretation is different because metaverse is like the entire internet as AR, VR are evolving. The AR, VR goggles represents the next generation mobile computing platforms, whereas metaverse is like the manifestation of the whole internet on those new platforms, such as goggles. So indeed, the scope of it is very broad. It covers social media, e-commerce, education, gaming, or even payment. Different types of internet applications we're familiar now, they all have their manifestations in the metaverse. In the AR, VR era, we're going to talk about an avatar. So in the virtual world, our avatars can talk with each other. So with that kind of environment, social media, e-commerce, and a lot of applications will be subject to further changes. So to understand the VR, AR goggles and their impact on the internet applications, we need to look at the technical nature of AR, VR as a new platform. By essence, it is about new display and a new way of interactions. In the past, be it the PC or on smartphones, you look at our display interface. It was pretty much two-dimensional. There are windows after windows. Therefore, Microsoft OS is named after Windows because there's Windows popping up. How we interact, we use the mouse, then we have the cursor, but under the AR VR goggles, display interface is going to be three-dimension because it's going to be a virtual information world. Maybe there's a virtual figure standing in front of us, talking to us face to face, or that may be a virtual shelf just within your arm's reach with different products. And there is like a kids land not far. You can go into the park and have fun. Then we can have a limb gesture, hand gesture, verbal language, or even eyeball tracking, and we can have interactions with the devices. So this is like the 3D interface for display and interaction, which represent the bottom layer for every application. So this is going to be a major shift in the bottom layer. As a result, there is going to be a huge revolution happening on the upper layers as well. So we think that metaverse is like a great rhino in this area. It represents the migration further of the computing platform. There is going to be a huge, kind of a shift from a hardware to software. Everything's going to be disrupted, just like the shift from a PC to mobile phone. And this time around, it's going to be another round of a huge revolution. There is going to be the rise of a new giants. Incumbent giants who are moving slowly, I think they're doomed. The next, briefly, let me analyze the technical composition of a metaverse. So very briefly, there are several different levels in terms of the technical hierarchy. And after that, I'm going to show you some brief demo. The first layer of the metaverse technical is holographic construction, because you need to build the geometric model of the whole virtual world and have it reflected or displayed on the devices. So the user can immerse themselves in the experience. So this is the most shallow layer of a metaverse. You look at the VR and viewing those apartment units you're interested in buying. That's where this layer they're located in. Second, the simulation, to simulate the dynamic process of the virtual world to make sure it is infinitely close or similar to the real world, because the water flowing downwards, if you throw a stone, it can break the glass. So in the virtual world, there's supposed to be a natural reaction of people inside. So many games these day and age, an application of a digital twin are located on level 2. If you're able to cover these two levels technology-wise, then we're able to build a perfect VR world. As we reach level 3, it's going to be fusion between virtual and the physical. How can we combine the virtual world with the physical world? Technology-wise, by essence, we need to build a high-precision 3D map based on the physical world, in which we're able to achieve precise locationing and sensing, and we can overlay those virtual information accurately. Then we're able to build a perfect AR world. Ever since, the boundaries will be blurred between the real and the virtual. The high precision, high definition 3D map and the locationing, this is going to lay a solid basis for level 4. Level 4 is the interlinking and interaction between the virtual and the physical. So if we change the virtual world elements, then the real world elements will be changed. For example, this is more about machines and robots. On level 4, this goes beyond our original understanding of the scope of the metaverse. But personally speaking, level 4 matters a lot. Without level 4, then it will only be the virtual beauty, right? The real world cannot be improved. So there is like, for example, Hacker's Empire, some of the movie stories, those kind of horrific scenes are what we want to avoid because we want to make sure the real world can improve as people are trying to build the virtual world. So level 2 simulation techniques, we can look for those optimal solutions to address the real problems. Then through the fusion, on level 3, we can map those solutions onto the real world. Then through robotic technologies on level 4, we can execute and implement those improvement regimen or schemes in the real world. Some of the demos we've collected, there are 2 videos for holographic modeling. So this is a holographic store working with Tmall through 3D reconstruction. We've built a VR model for the store. Yeah, you can roam, you can click, and you can place an order for those items on the shelf. You enjoy immersive experience. You do not have to go outside of your home, yet you are able to do shopping. On the right side, it is a virtual home decoration case. So furniture in a home environment, there's a 3D modeling of the environment. So in this environment, you can change the setup of the furniture, and you can actually change the flooring solution as well. Then you can have a preview, right? So what you see is what you get. There are 2 simulation cases. On the left side, it is Magic Tech Company's virtual figure. Through animation and simulation, they're able to build those, kind of figures who look really a lot like the real people. Even their hair looks so real. So these virtual people can be applied in different scenarios for live streaming or customer service delivery, so on and so forth. On your right side, developed by Tai Chi Graphic Company. This is the particle simulation animation. They developed a new programming language which streamlined the process of programming for particles. So you're able to achieve quickly different types of simulation results. The simulation of a flowing water, sands, or simulate the process of a physical handling of those objects. This slide, we have 2 AR cases. On your left side, we work with a Song art gallery. This is a case of an AR art show. Once you put on the AR goggles, then you will be immersed in a virtual world created by artists. You can interact with those virtual elements.
And artists can use this technology to showcase their works and tell them about their artistic beliefs. And on the right, it is Unreal demo. The demo is about their AR goggles, the application in different scenarios, including gaming, social, shopping, and even in industrial. And here is a case about the robot. On the left, this is agriculture products pickup. This is about the 3D and model establishment. And on top of that, the robots can move and plan in this fruit park and pick up the fruits. And by doing that, we can greatly reduce the manpower, very intensive manpower work. And also the management cost can be reduced. And the robot can work in the daytime and also in the nighttime to pick the apples. And on the right, it is a construction robot from a company called Bojiling, and their robots are very smart. They can deal with the ceramics or paint the walls, so it can do a lot of construction work and automatic. And all these robots rely heavily on a virtual 3D reality to plan the route of their movement. And for the interest of time, my elaboration of the user cases is very simple. So just now, I very quickly review the technologies for Metaverse. I believe a new internet era is about to come.